Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to this channel. On this video, I'm actually going to be installing a window deflector for the 5th gen 4Runner. Now, I was torn between two brands, which is the AVS brand and the WeatherTech brand. So I couldn't decide. I've actually owned the WeatherTech brand in the past, so I wanted to give AVS a try. So I went ahead and purchased two of them, and I'm going to be installing it on my driver's side and also the passenger side, so you guys can see the differences between both of them, and you guys can decide for yourself which one is better. So my experiences with window deflectors is I love them. I had them for 3 years on my previous 5th gen 4Runner, but after about 3 years, I did lose a rear window deflector, and I just never really got around to replacing it because they don't sell individual corners that you might lose. So with that said, I was hesitant on purchasing this on my new car, but I did have some instances where it was raining, and I did wish I had that. I did notice that on the window button area was a bit wet from the weathering, and I wish I was able to crack down my windows. So I went ahead and couldn't decide. I purchased two. I'm going to go ahead and install both of them and let you guys know which one I like better. So I'm about to unbox both of these. I just want to give you a quick heads up on what I see right off the bat. So this is the WeatherTech brand. This is the AVS brand. The box is a little bit thicker on the WeatherTech, but it's noticeably heavier. So I'm not sure if this is going to be more flimsy as far as the AVS goes, but the WeatherTech already feels a little bit heavier. All right, guys, so my first impression after we unboxed it, the WeatherTech, it comes in a bag, and the AVS, it does come with a little bit of a cardboard backing here. One thing that I want you guys to know is that I did purchase both of these off of Amazon. The WeatherTech was almost double the price of the AVS. It came in at $130 versus a cool $70. So with that said, is the WeatherTech going to be double the value as far as the quality and the performance? I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, guys, now that I have both the AVS and the WeatherTech unboxed, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my first impressions on this. Now, keep in mind, both of these are very comparable because they're both in-channel window deflectors. I prefer the in-channels because I believe that they stay on there longer. It's more fitting. Instead of the channels on the outside where it is taped onto the outside of the vehicle, where weathering can mess up the tape over long term and then it can start peeling. So I didn't want to deal with that. I'd rather have the in channel. That's what I went ahead and went with here. So these are all both the dark smoke colors. Now the AVS has the red 3M tape on the sides, and the WeatherTech front doesn't have any tape at all. It's supposed to be a really snug fit where you can just bend this and you're able to kind of shape and mold it inside. Now, one of the things with this 3M tape as well is, as I was removing the package from the AVS, just removing the plastic around, I already started peeling some of the 3M backing. So I didn't like that. Just wasn't really nice as far as the cutting as well. There's extra pieces of tape that's sticking outside of the vent where I'm going to go ahead and clean out as well. But the AVS did come with some alcohol pads to help clean out the sides before you install that. But I am going to go ahead and clean the windows of the vehicle first before I install this. So I want to make sure it's spick and span, brand new and clean before I put any of the tape on there. If I tape it prior to cleaning it, then it's definitely going to fail in the short term. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do here. Now, feeling these two here, it feels very plastically, very acrylic, but the WeatherTech is noticeably thicker. It's smoother, it's thicker. I feel like the AVS is definitely going to scratch a lot easier than the WeatherTech. You can even bend this. So I'm not sure if you guys can see it in your point of view, but you can bend it, and it does sound very flimsy. Versus the WeatherTech, I can't bend this at all. It's very solid. The taping is really nice and really perfect. It's just professionally done. It's a way to go. I so far am very impressed with the WeatherTech. And I'm not sure if it's worth double the price, but we're going to go ahead and install it. Let's wash the windows. Let's get to the install. Now go ahead and crack the window down halfway and make sure that you clean up the sides and also the felt area very well. You want to remove all the dirt so that when you remove the 3M tape, it's actually going to stick. That's a problem that I had in the past where I lost it. I probably didn't do a good job at cleaning it up, so that's what I'm going to focus on this time around. Now repeat on the other side. So I'm going to be installing the driver side first, which is going to be the WeatherTech. Now something to keep in mind, you want to keep one of the sides inside the channel. So what that means is you want to roll this window down so that you're able to access this first part. I'm going to go ahead and remove the safety stickers. So it's going to go on top of the window, the actual window slot. And you want to stick the side closest to the mirror. And then when you get to the top right here, you're going to go ahead and wedge it. So it bends a bit, you flex it, let it slide into the channel.
Sorry, I'm still not sure.
All right. And once it's inside that channel, you're gonna go ahead and push it up. Just like that. The front is in. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and roll up the window. Okay, so the sensor did go off. You want to make sure it's all the way up, but it did cap off at the top, and I went ahead and then assisted it back up there again. So this one works fine. I'm going to go ahead and install the rear. The rear is a little bit more tricky because it requires 3M tape. So once you actually tape it up and put it up top, you want to leave it there for at least 72 hours for it to settle before you guys roll the window up and down again. Now for the rear passenger, I'm going to do a similar install. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the little barcode that they have there. And keep in mind, this is the curved side, so this is where the window is gonna be curved to, and this is where I'm gonna be installing first. So I'm gonna go ahead and slip this side through, and then I'm gonna go ahead and install this afterwards. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just remove some of the 3M tape here. This will help me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove it like that. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and remove this. I've already wiped the underside with alcohol, so it's nice and clean. So both sides are exposed. I'm gonna go ahead and slip that corner in first. And I'm gonna go ahead and angle it. And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna bend it, of course, even though it's tight. I'm actually gonna remove that. But I'm gonna bend this so that it slips into that channel. It is a really tight fit. I'm gonna release. All right, and then now I'm gonna go ahead and remove. And I'm gonna go ahead and slide it up. I wanna push against it as hard as it can so that the tape will stick on there very nicely. There you go. Last thing I'm gonna do is wind up the window, and I'm gonna allow it to sit for 72 hours. Let the window itself hold the deflector in place, and after 72 hours, I can go ahead and roll down the windows. Now let's install the passenger side AVS. Okay, now for the AVS side. Now again, what's different is there's 3M tape all around instead of just the rear passenger. So let's go ahead and remove. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and slip this channel in first. So what I'm already noticing is that the WeatherTech actually goes all the way to the bottom of the window, whereas the AVS stops a quarter down. So let's go ahead and stick it in the channel. Let's go ahead and so already it's a super loose fit. It's already in the channel, and yeah, it's just a very loose fit. So it's going to be really dependent on this 3M tape really sticking here long term. I'm going to go ahead and stick it up top. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and install the rear before I roll up the window. I'm going to stick the rear facing area first, and then I'm going to bend. And then I'm going to go ahead and slide it up top. And now you want to hold. And there you have it. Let's go ahead and roll up the windows, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys how this looks. All right guys, so this is the passenger side, which is the side I installed the AVS on. Right away I see this little flap here. Not really fond of this channel. It actually also looks kind of jagged, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys from the inside how that looks. Also what I'm noticing is that the size looks noticeably different. So the channel on the driver's side looks deeper than the rear passenger, which I don't like. Those lines are not even. During the install, as you guys can see, the way that this AVS slipped on is very, very loose. I don't know how long this will last if I keep it on. When I rolled up the windows initially, it also didn't want to go up very nicely. The low plastic edge here was against the window. I had to kind of wedge this from the outside and then forcefully move the window up. I'm hoping that once it settles within 72 hours, I'm going to be able to roll the window up and down without it jamming. So that's one thing that I noticed right away, because the last thing you want to do is have it jam and you're not able to close your window. So I did not want that to happen. All right guys, so this is the inside view. You're not really able to tell, but that plastic is not cut very nicely. The edges, you can see they're a bit jagged, especially this part. The other thing is the deflector ends right here, so it doesn't go all the way down. Now this is the driver's side, this is the WeatherTech side. Again, the fitment was a lot better. It was a snug to get in there, so even if this 3M tape fails, I believe that it has a lot better chance of staying on. I did lose this one in the past, so I'm hoping that with the extra detail that I did to the side corners here, that's gonna help it hold up long term. Right off the bat, you can also see that this is a smooth line versus the AVS. This is also, it's also been sanded down, so again, it's very smooth. Doesn't have a raw edge like the AVS. In this perspective, you can also see that it's pretty even as far as the height between the two. You've got your WeatherTech branding, and then this in channel actually goes all the way down. So there you have it guys. These are the two window deflectors that I chose, one from AVS, one from WeatherTech. I showed you the install, I showed you the in-depth look at both of these. Let me know what you guys think. What I'm gonna end up going with is going to be the WeatherTech. I feel like it's a superior product. It is double the price, but you get what you pay for. I so far like the fitment of it better and the look of it, and it's also finished versus the AVS I felt was unfinished. It was still pretty raw. It was kind of flimsy, lightweight. I don't know how that's gonna hold up long term. That's my thought on this. Let me know what you guys think. Again, like always, I'll drop a link below to all the products that I'm talking about here. I'll catch you guys on that next one.